How y'all doing? Getting my viewfinder so I can keep up with the chat. So give me just a moment. Make sure the volume is down. Okay, now I can see you guys. How's it going out there, everybody? Hello, person that's here. I hope your day is going well. Howdy, howdy. Make sure I get this set up right. That was just for the thumbnail. Clearing my throat. Okay. So, what I aim to do today is search for sclerotia, also known as truffles, and also known as philosopher's stones. They're dense mycelium clumps. They form as a survival method for the mycelium in the wild. The mycelium will form the sclerotia inside the ground so that it can weather bad weather, I guess you could say. Or more like the mycelium clumps into the sclerotia whenever the conditions are not favorable for the mushroom. That way, that whenever conditions do become right for the mushroom to thrive in, it's able to then release the mycelium from within the sclerotia or truffle, if you will, and that allows it to begin colonizing in favorable conditions. So there's a little lesson on what the purpose of the sclerotia in nature is. Putting on my gloves real quick. Just one more moment. Hello, Larry. How's it going, man? So, I've had this jar colonizing for 3 months now. I thought that it was contaminated at first, but I did some more research about this strain of mushroom, and it turns out that it will form those dark spots whenever it begins forming truffles. So that was nice to hear. I probably should have looked into that before I inoculated this jar, but you know, this is a learning process for me, and I'm sure for you guys watching at home as well. I'm opening the jar right now. Look at the mycelium that's built up. I could probably inoculate a grain bag with that. We'll just set it down right there for now. This is what it looks like on the inside. It doesn't look very healthy, but from all the research I've done, this is how it's supposed to look. So I'm just going to have to trust other people's expertise on that one. I'm going to use these scissors just to break it up in the jar, and I'm going to pour it out on here. And I'm using this tarp so that I don't lose any of the grain or truffles in the process. So, and I don't want to break this up super hard because I am trying to harvest some stuff that's in the grain. So hopefully I don't damage any of the sclerosia in the process. I've never harvested sclerosia before, so this is 100% a learning experience for me. I'm trying to cut the mass in half and take it out one half at a time, or maybe quarter it if necessary. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to quarter it. That's fine. There we go. I'm trying not to damage any truffles that might be in there. I'm gonna check this drawer. Might have something better to extract it with. I do. I thought I brought this inside, but thankfully I didn't. Before I put it in that jar, I'm going to sanitize it. Sanitize. This is 90% isopropanol. You only need 70%, but I got that 90% for pretty cheap, cheaper than the 70%. So I figure it's fine. I'm just using the isopropanol to kill things. All right, here we go. Push it through. Okay. Here we go. Go. And from what I've read, the sclerosia will be like very dense, like hard, I guess. So it won't be, or it shouldn't be much trouble being able to identify them. I think I just felt one. There we go. I've got a couple of bags of CVG and wood-based substrate underneath this desk that after I finish searching for the truffles, I can transfer the remaining grain over to one of those bags and grow some mushrooms. But hopefully I can get some sclerosia out of here. And I will be using sclerosia, truffle, and Philosopher's Stone interchangeably here, it all means the same thing. Dense mycelium clumps inside the substrate. So let's see if we can find some. There we go. That's one right there. I think that's a sclerosia. It's dense. It's dark. I'm gonna. I should have brought a little thing to put those in. Looking around, looking around. What do I have? You know what? I've got a paper towel roll here that I can simply place the truffles on. Boop. Think I see another one. Here. Now I saw some images on the mushroom cultivating subreddit, and some people were pulling out sclerosias that looked like I don't know what they looked like, but they were huge. They were like 5 or 6 times larger than this. I think I just felt another one. Yep. Now this one's a good size. Okay. That's a good one. I think. I think it is. I don't really know what I'm doing, guys. I think I see another one right here. A little tiny one. Yeah. Mm, yeah, it's real tiny. But it's still what it is. Got another one right here. I know this isn't the best shots. I'll try to get a better viewing for you guys at the end. Here's another one. Yeah. Got another one right here. I feel a big one. This is a good one. Look at that thing. I think I keep saying like this is a good one, but the truth is I don't really know. Like I said, this is my first time. There's another one. But the images I saw on the mushroom cultivation subreddit, the person who posted the pictures said that they just put it in like a grain bag or monotub. I can't remember which one, but they basically put it in the dark area out of the way with like absolutely no light, and they just let it go for a few months for them to get the giant truffles that I was seeing. So what I'm going to do with the grain spawn here, whenever I transfer it to bulk, I'm going to do the same thing. And then in a few months, I guess I will film a video or live stream myself searching through the new stuff. There's another one. Anyone just randomly tuning in is going to be like, what the heck? This is nasty. What's he doing? Well, I'm digging through my mycelium looking for truffles, okay, buddy? I've been thinking about sterilizing a half-gallon mason jar of brown rice. I think that's an abort. It's too soft. I think. Like I say, I don't know. It's my first time. That's too soft. That's an abort. I could see some aborts in the jar before I opened it, so I knew that I would be running across those as well. I was worried before I began that I would have trouble telling the difference between the truffles and the aborted mushrooms, but the truffles are so dense and like actually pretty tough. I wouldn't go as far as to say rock hard, but certainly not soft and mushy like the grain or the aborted mushrooms. So that's nice. That's good to know. It kind of looked like kidney beans, if I'm being honest with y'all. I'm finding them like crazy now, though. And I also looked into it. Um, to store these, you dehydrate them and put them in a mason jar with a silica packet, just like a normal mushroom is a truffle. Do, do, do. Wouldn't it be cool if that was just one giant truffle there? I didn't think I would find this many truffles. So I'm like really hoping they are truffles and not something else. It's not that I thought I wouldn't find very many at all. It's just that I didn't think I would find this many, is all. So a little bit, yeah. There's so many. This is awesome. I had the clump of grain in my hand and I saw my middle finger poking through. I was like, oh my god, that truffle is humongous. No, it's your finger, dude. I'm glad I realized that before getting excited on camera. Oop, there's a big one. No, no, it's not. It's a port. I don't know what people do with these either. The truffles. I just know people talk about truffles being awesome all the time. So what? I don't know. Why'd I say so? I don't know why. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. I wonder if I miss any of the truffles, which I probably will. I wonder if they'll continue to grow once I transfer this over to a bulk substrate or if not. You know, the newest Dochi album, I know, where am I going with this? Is titled Alligator Bites Don't Heal. And something I noticed about this jar before I opened it up and started searching for truffles is that it kind of honestly looked like snake skin. And that's one of the reasons I thought it was probably contaminated. But after looking into it, that's normal. In the areas that it looks like snake skin, that's actually where you want to look for your truffles at. Truffles at. But snake skin also looks like alligator skin. And while a truffle doesn't bite you, you do bite it. And I know people have had experiences that they didn't heal from. So I'm just curious if the album is titled that because Dochi got some of these, looked at the jar, and was like, that looks like a freaking alligator. And she just never recovered. It's just like, oh my God. I hope not. I hope that's not the reason. I also hope she didn't get bitten by an alligator and it's in a perpetual state of what would you call it? Perpetual state of not being healed, I guess. Soreness. Or or if she had a life-changing experience and it's not a bite that hurt her, but a bite that perhaps she learned from. Next time I get her on the phone, I'll have to remember to ask her. Here's a big one. This one looks like a freaking teardrop. That's cool. I haven't looked at chat in a minute. Oh, look, there's no chats. One person here. This is riveting content. Where are the masses? They're missing out. This species is a CVG lover, and I got a bag of CVG, but I'm thinking about putting it in a wood based substrate because I got 2 bags of that. Yeah, freaking truffles all over the dang place. This is awesome. Well, this is awesome, y'all. almost done. I know y'all aren't in a hurry. I'm just letting you know. Just a little bit more. I'm wondering if I should wash these off before I put them in the dehydrator. My first thought was I don't want to damage them, make them mushy, but I am putting them in a dehydrator, so maybe it won't be an issue. I'll have to do some Googling around. Hey, we're almost done, and I got a nice, good one. There's going to be someone watching this that's like, that's not a truffle, that is strychnine. It grows sometimes in mycelium. It's weird. Well, I won't see it. Is this? Nope. Wait. No. It's the last little clump, I think. I will do a once over on it after I feel like I've done all the big clumps. These truffles look like seeds, man. Which it kind of is a seed, I think. Like the mycelium is dormant inside the sclerosia because it's waiting for favorable conditions to present themselves so that it can thrive. So it is kind of a seed, but just not in the way we generally think about them, or at least the way I generally thought about them. See if I got any stuck on my hands. Let's see. That's a good one. I'm pretty sure I've felt a couple of really tiny, not grain, maybe gravel size truffles, but I just left them because I want to see if they will grow into marble size truffles. Because wouldn't that be cool? Okay. I think that's all I'm going to get from here right now. Get as much off of my gloves as I can. Because this is going in a grain bag. Throw those gloves away. See, I wasn't lying to you. This is a pre-sterilized bag of wood-based substrate I made about a month ago. If you've been keeping up with my channel, you will have seen me talking about how Trick has been driving me up the freaking wall. So I've started sterilizing my substrates before I transfer anything to bulk over to it, just as a super, out of an abundance of caution, because I really was getting hit with the Trick really hard, guys. It was bad. And currently, I think I'm through the worst of it, but I still haven't had a monotub fruit because I just got through the worst of it maybe a month ago. This stuff right here, it's called NGP++. It is a additive that you add to your substrate whenever you are doing a transfer over to bulk. It's supposed to fight trich, and it makes your mushrooms fruit. It says 12 to 14 days faster than if you don't use it. And so far, it definitely seems to work. I don't want to give it a glowing review yet. If I get a monotub or a grain bag to spawn or a fruit after using the MGP++, I will let you know, and I will endorse the product. But as of right now, I can't endorse it. Not because it's not good, just because I haven't had enough time to see it actually work. But it should be working in a couple of the monotubs and grain bags I got going, so I'll find out pretty quick. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the dead air there. I'm doing a transfer to bulk. First, I harvested a bunch of truffles out of my grain jar, and the leftover grain spawn, I'm going to transfer it over to a bulk substrate. And I got a real good amount of philosopher's stones today, I think. I'm really not sure. I keep saying that because it's the first time I've ever harvested any. So that could be next to nothing for a quart-sized jar run. Okay. So you agitate this first and give it a good spray. Then you mix it up. The manufacturer of the MGP, the way it's advertised is that 1 gram can treat 50 monotubs because the way you mix it with water is 1 gram per 16 fluid ounces. This is 8 ounces. So I did a half a gram. Then while you're transferring to bulk, you spray it 3 times. You start to mix it up, give it a spray, mix it up some more, give it another spray, and then at the end, once you're done, give it a final spray. This company does have another product called Just the Trick, and I would have ordered it, but it wasn't on Amazon. It was only on their website. So if they ever put that up on Amazon, I will order it. But if the MGP is just the trick formula with also some more nutrients to make your monotubs fruit a little bit faster, then I'll just order it more. This is going to be the last spray. And as I mix this up, I am feeling around for more truffles. But I haven't found any. That's okay. Oh, I just found one. Thank you. Damn, that's a good one. Look at that thing. This. So, this species is not a wood lover, but dirt out in nature, you know, it's mostly wood, decomposed wood. And that's where truffles form in the ground, which is a lot of wood. So hopefully this actually works out in my favor. And there is soybean in there too. It's not just wood. I got a shoebox down there. I got a lot of equipment just out of sight, if y'all haven't noticed. It up a little bit. You know what? this side. The isopropyl. Now I'm going to hit the inside. Oop, oop. Get that little piece of paper towel out. It's not enough to worry with. Grab another glove. You're going to go through a lot of gloves in this hobby / business. Just so you know, if you're thinking about getting into it, I hope you got a lot of gloves and a lot of time on your hands. Because this stuff takes a long time to grow. So I'm going to mat this down a little bit. Not too much. I know it looks like I'm beating the heck out of it, but I'm not hitting it too hard. And then, get off. And then, once again, just off camera, I got a bag of CVG here. And I'm going to use it as a casing layer. So I've got the bulk substrate, wood base with brown rice and wild tempenensis inside of this monotub. And I'm going to put a layer of uninoculated CVG, cocoa coir, gypsum, and vermiculite. But I'm not going to mix it into the bulk substrate. I'm just going to put it on the surface. And that'll provide a nice clean area for the mycelium colony and growth when it's time to start fruiting. Don't need that much. Just need a layer. It's just a casing layer. That's it. And I'm not really going to pat this down too hard. I just need it to be there. That's it. A little bit more over here. More down here. There we go. That's beautiful, isn't it, guys? I love this hobby. It's so much fun. Now I got a pretty good bit of CBG left over, so I'm just gonna fold it up and put it back under my workbench. I have this bag of wood base. It's the same one that I used here. I'm gonna close this up. Still air box. One of my grow tents. I'm going to place it inside. But you know what I should do first? Something that I'm just recently actually getting in the habit of doing. I'm going to label it with the species and today's date. Because I'm done freaking lying to myself. I've been telling myself for 33 freaking years. I says to myself, I says, Cody, you'll remember, buddy. I'll just remember, buddy. It was a freaking lie every single time. It was a lie the first time, and it was a lie the last time. I will not remember. I will make labels. Thank you very much. Okay. Back to this. So this is wild Tampanensis, but I won't spell out the whole thing. And today is March, April, May, June? Huh? June 2nd, right? 6. I'll just do a space. I was looking for the dash. Wild 6-2. And I'm going to place the label. June is the 6th month, right? Yeah. Because I always feel like July is the 6th month, but it's the 7th. But July, come on, it feels like the midpoint of the year. Which I guess it's kind of is the 7th month? I don't know. Like halfway through June. It's not that important. Wild 6-2. That's what the ladies call me. I've been watching a lot, or not a lot. I watched a microphilia video live stream the other night, and he was talking about how him and other people in the community are starting to introduce what was considered fruiting conditions a lot sooner than they used to. So I'm giving it a shot. They were saying that they only let their new monotubs colonate for a day before you flip the lid, which is what you do to introduce fruiting conditions. I let this colonate for like 3 days before I flip the lid. Typically, you wait at least a month. That's how I was doing things. But watching his video, his live stream, I'm going to give it a shot, see what happens. Hopefully, between that and the MGC, I'll be harvesting more mushrooms more often. How far am I? 56. I got a genuine light up now. I was using a combination of that thingy. I think I brought the other thing back in the house. I would like to get up to an hour, so I'm gonna just kind of hang out until I do that. I can rearrange my tripod so it can sit on my stool for no real reason other than I can. There we go. Or might not work. It's not gonna work. That's cool. It's okay. Hey guys. Whoops. I'm sorry about that. Ah, ah. Here we go. Stop trying to look down my shirt, pervert. Yeah, I was setting this thing up on a stool for a reason. No particular reason other than I can, but that's a reason. That's an air freshener. I got it from Daily High Club. Just so you know. Man, not a soul has said anything. Larry Bird said hi, but I don't think he typed that. I think he just hit a button that does that. Oh, everyone's gone. 1.5 minutes. We can do this. We're close. We're close. Hello, everybody. How's it going? What y'all doing? Y'all hanging out, watching YouTube live streams? I mean, I kind of am too. I can see myself on stream right there. Oh, yeah. Jeez. I'm losing my grip, guys. But what else is new, right? So I'm going to bring this inside and clean it for next time because the wood-based substrate, it will start to decompose because it's wood and bacteria would like to eat it. So as soon as I opened this bag here, I'm sure all the bacteria in the air here was like, oh, hell yeah. I've been waiting on you to do that for about a month since I brought it in here. I sweep and vacuum up in here every night. So if you're curious why I'm just sweeping the substrate onto the ground, it's because I'm going to vacuum it up later. But what are we doing right now? Yeah, don't go lower than that. There we go. There we go. Hello again. Howdy, howdy. Don't worry, I'm about to flip the camera. You're in for a big surprise, guys. This is some crazy stuff you're about to lay witness to. What? It's philosophy stones. Philosopher stones. They're stones. Let me see if I can get you a better angle. Uh, 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 do, do, do. Maybe. Come on. There we go. Of course not. Okay, there we go. Just trying to tighten this so that it doesn't flop over and stop streaming like that. Come on. Trying to get a good angle on this, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. So those are truffles. I extracted them from this jar just about 20-30 minutes ago. I have never harvested truffles before, so I'm not really super sure what the next step of the process is. I'm just going to move them over to a cleaner napkin so that you can see them a little bit better. But yeah, these are sclerosia, also known as truffles, and also known as philosopher's stones. Looks like this is the biggest one I got, which that might be an abort. No, it's tough. It's dense. Like you can see the mycelium inside of it clumped up, and this can lay dormant in the ground, underground, for years. I don't know if it'll last for decades, but I know it lasts for years for sure. It's another good size one right there. That looks exactly like the sclerosias I was seeing on Reddit, just not as big. But it looks the same. So I'm pretty sure I got the right stuff out of the jar. This might be trash. Yeah. I'm going to put whatever I don't use in this wood-based substrate bag. See if it'll colonate if I put it out of the way for a few months. If I was still searching for the truffles, I would have gloves on. But since I've already gone through the grain and got the truffles out, so I'm not so worried about contamination, I can just use my bare hands. Let me grab another napkin for wiping these off. Hello, everybody. These are truffles, also known as sclerosia and known as philosopher's stones. And I harvested them within the hour of time. Proceeding now. Let's see. That's a little bit better. any of the grains of rice I'm putting over here in a wood-based substrate bag so it can colonize and hopefully produce some more philosopher stones for me. That was an abort, not a truffle. Hello, peoples. Usually, people are at least accusing me of being in a meth lab, but geez, people are just not saying nothing. Do I have the chat turned off? Did I screw up the moderation tools or something? I might have. I wouldn't be surprised. Another truffle? Truffle, truffle. Truffle for your thoughts? Let me check my moderation tools if I can. No? Yeah? Y'all can talk. I just checked. It's on. Everyone can participate more. But that's fine. That's okay. It's a good size stone. This one is not. Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm searching for truffle. Oh, well, I was searching for truffles, but I found them, and now I'm giving them a little clean off before I store them. Or not store them, but bring them over to my kitchen where I will put them in the food dehydrator for 24 hours. It seems to be the agreed upon amount of time by most mushroom cultivators. For a second, I thought it was an abort. I've been experimenting with multigrain bags in jars. I'm glad I didn't do that for this jar here because one of the grains I mix in with my jars right now is popcorn. And it would suck if I thought I just collected a whole ton of truffles and it's like, oh man, that's popcorn kernels. But that one, that jar was just rice. Didn't have anything else in it. Any other grains. Yeah. Hello, people. How y'all doing? How am I doing, you asked? I'm doing great. That's in the board. This is a truffle. That's in the board. This is a truffle. But it's so tiny. It's a tiny little truffle. Oh, wait, nope, that's in the board. It's in the board. That's a truffle. There we go. For the rest of the stuff on this napkin, I will put it in this grain bag. There we go. Excuse me, sorry about that. Now, this jar is what I just collected that sclerotia slash truffles slash philosopher's stone out of. The lid of that jar has a ton. Y'all come around to the other side. But I think I see a sclerotia. Yeah, the lid of the jar began colonnading as well. But I'm pretty sure that's truffle right there. I'm like 90% sure. But I'm not going to harvest it right now. I am going to scrape this off into this bag. Go, truffle. Go grow more. Go grow. Whoop. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Got it all off of there. And is there a truffle there? I don't see one. Looking at that little patch on the side of the jar. I'm going to loosen that up with this. And I am also going to pour this into the bag. Shake it up real good. See, look at that. Look at how much better I'm doing. I actually labeled it wood. I didn't put a date on it, but that was a whole month ago. That's like a different life, as far as I'm concerned. Different lifetime. I'm doing this stuff. Fill this up. Try to cover the other side as well as I can. And you know what? I need to label it. Provide more labels. It's the same thing I printed for the last one. That this is an unopened bag of wood-based substrate. Riveting stuff, I know, guys. Hello again. How's it going out there in the world? I'm about to go. It's dinner time, I think. No, it's not. It's 4:30. It's not dinner time. It's not even close. Oh well. I'm hungry. I'm an adult. I can decide when dinner time is, right? Like, is that not within my rights? I feel like it is. But what do you care?